Hello, this is Neil from mypaintgirls.com, and I thought I'd go ahead and do another cover design mock-up really quick. And because they're kind of fun and they're good for practice, and I think it's good to go through and watch this process and see my thoughts and stuff to get an idea of composition and that sort of thing. So the first thing I know I want for this one, I want this to be more of a bright background. Now you got to think about, do you want the foreground to be more bright or the background to be more bright? Because you really want that contrast. You want this balance of bright and dark. And so I want to have the background be more bright and the foreground be more dark. So I'm going to leave the background white for now. Well, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and add some colors. I really don't know what color like Dysnomia, like the actual game, is going to be, but it really doesn't matter. It's more about design. And I'm thinking more kind of like light blues and stuff in the background. And so what I'm going to do is just take a textured brush here and just kind of paint, some just basic shapes back here. And I really don't know what they're going to mean, but maybe they'll be like, part of the sky and then whatever that is, and then just kind of bring this down into the ground. And the ground has to be more of like, ground you're actually on something. So just add a little bit of that, and you can add just a little bit of that color into the background. I want the background to be kind of abstract and soft and something like that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time because this is just, mock-up. And this is probably like some kind of, I don't know, rock or mountain or something. Maybe it even has a hole in it you can see through. So you just see part of it like that going through. And so it's some type of rock. Add just a little bit of the lighter color there for just some, just kind of cut this out. Another kind of rock shape, and then just add a little bit of texture, and a little bit of the other color over here for it kind of all blends together. Right, so something like that for the background will be fine, and that can be fleshed out to some kind of cool background, like almost like desert rock stuff or something, And the color doesn't have to be so realistic because you're just going for something, kind of going for the cool factor. And everything in the foreground I kind of want to be dark, so I'm going to pick darker, different colors, more like reddish type brownish color. And since I remember he said he didn't say anything, but there was like tentacles on the other image where the planet with the tentacles. So I thought, okay, maybe we can put some, really work that tentacle kind of stuff and kind of think of like shapes that really come into the foreground here. So you have this one tentacle shape here, and you just really want to kind of, shape out, kind of get an overall shape of what you want. And so maybe something like that for the overall shapes. Don't want too much. I want a lot of the shapes in the background to be there, and I gotta have room for my character as well. And then I just to kind of for something to start with, and I'm gonna actually work underneath that and decide if I like that or not, and if I can use it, if it'll fit properly into where the character is going to be. So the next part is just quickly some kind of like dynamic shape for the character. So I'm thinking character's hand to be here. Sometimes it's better to start out with, like, for me at least, where where's the hand going to be and what is it going to be doing. So I'm thinking hand is like here somewhere, and then I'm just trying to think how this is going to be. Then middle, and then pinky over there, like, right. And was interrupted there for a minute. Had to pause. So I was thinking also maybe I should explain like how this idea came about. So basically, I had very little information on the thread. One information was that he was like he said I didn't want to do the typical mercenary kind, because it's a top-down shooter. He's like, I didn't want to do the typical mercenary dude, shooting or whatever. I wanted something a little different, and that's why he did the planet with the let me go ahead and just kind of, anyway, that's why he ended up doing the planet. Man, I can't draw and think at the same time sometimes, or talk, whatever. Anyway, so that's why he did the planet with the little, let me just show what it looks like actually. Whatever, anyway, I was going to show what it looked like, but I don't feel like getting it. So it's just a planet with like these claws behind it, grabbing the planet. But the problem is that didn't really say what what it was about. So I did another mock-up really quickly. I guess I'll just show it really quickly here. So I did this mock-up, and basically all he had was like the word was right in the center. I thought that really destroyed the image, so I put it in the top, and then made the planet small and everything, and did a better planet, just quick mock-up, and claws gripping it. I think 3 claws look better than 4. And then this guy in the foreground, I don't know what his main character looks like or anything, but I just made one up really quick. And this would be his main character, shooting a gun and yelling, and just have this kind of dynamic pose, because I think it adds a lot more energy to the piece, and kind of tells what the game's about. Oh, okay, this is a shooter game. Before, it was really hard to tell, well, what kind of game is it exactly? Right. So, but the thing that he said, though, that he didn't really want was it to be, just a guy with a gun, whatever. So then I got this idea. I'm like, well, he had those tentacles in the background holding the planet. I know it takes place on this moon, so this is why I did that kind of moonish type back shape. And then you can kind of have, this be some kind of weird monster tentacle, using kind of a octopus tentacle or something as the concept. And anyway, this would all be darker. It's all going to be kind of backlit, so everything's going to be kind of like middle darkness. I'm not going to really get into all that right now. I want to get the overall composition and stuff. So I'm thinking he's going to be holding this tentacle. I thought, well, maybe he doesn't need to have a gun at all in the cover art. He can just be grabbing onto tentacles. But then it seems more like an adventure. So I'm still thinking his back arm over here. Let's see how it's. I'm not sure how this is all going to work out yet. His like shoulder and stuff here, and like his head. He's going to be all like this arm's kind of coming out maybe, and then the elbow and stuff, and then this arm's kind of coming like that. I'm not sure if that's going to work yet, but we'll see. The other shoulder back there maybe kind of hidden just a bit, and then I really want this kind of like he's really coming out. Let me see if I can do this. And maybe kind of like similar like that face I had before. Maybe you can even have that same kind of look on him. And then this arm back here, I'm thinking, just think how I want this to be. This is sometimes, the part that takes longest is just like thinking through everything. And like this arm, I'm kind of thinking it's coming down like over here. We can see part of that shoulder maybe only, and the arm's coming down, and then the other part of the arm's coming up like this, and maybe he's like, I don't know, badass holding his gun. Think, how would that? No, that's all backwards. His hand can't twist that way. So the thumb would be towards us rather. We'd be see this part of the thumb, and then that part of the hand, and then that finger would come back toward us. That's on the trigger area. Anyway, so I'm thinking he could be holding this gun. I don't know if he should actually be gripping the gun, or like actually gripping it. How do you do that anyway? Like kind of comes down like something like that. And then his other fingers would actually probably start more around here. And he's like gripping the pistol. And it could be a pistol gun, or it could be, any other kind of gun he's holding, and really kind of maybe exaggerate it, make it like all huge and stuff. And then really, I really wanted to exaggerate was this pose. Really push this out here, and then thinking he'll have his legs here, and got to keep that center line. Just kind of imagine the center line's coming down and here and right around here. So it'd be kind of like that. And then one leg is going to kind of come out over here, and this leg is going to kind of come. How should this be? Let me think about this. Maybe I can kind of. I want a wide stance, but I need to come out with this leg a little bit like that, and like the knee maybe, and then have this leg kind of coming. Let me think about this. Now it might be like I'm kind of viewing down on the character, which is fine because the horizon line is right around there. So I guess we could be kind of looking down at the character rather than up at him. And again, he'd have this kind of angry face. I don't want to actually go and draw the face and stuff. I don't think I'll have enough time for all that. I'm already at 10 minutes. Let's see. Damn it. I guess this leg could be like that, and then it could be coming back over there. And the foot would be coming back forward, kind of like this. That tentacle is kind of blocking, like, I think a critical area of the character here that needs to maybe be there. That one will be foreshortened, like really small. You just kind of see the foot back there. That would all just kind of be silhouetted anyway. I'm thinking about this leg. How would I want this leg to be? Maybe I should just kind of like a really wide stance. This leg's just coming way out like this at us. And then that's probably not going to work out too well. Just thinking about this. It could be coming off screen like that, and then I can cover it with a tentacle here, and then another tentacle coming behind his leg like that to add some depth and have that really get skinny. Right, so I'm like quickly running out of time and keep getting interrupted. So I'm thinking that the leg placement might now work, but what I really want to exaggerate is I really want to pull this all back over here, like he's really kind of really stretching back over here, and then I might maybe bring his back and his shoulders up over here, head over here more. So let me see how that will look. I'm going to go ahead and see if I have enough time to do this. So what I really want it to more be like is, and so his shoulders more right here, and then his arm, whatever, is coming out over here, and that's all being kind of foreshortened a little bit, let's say. And then kind of like elbow, and then maybe have his arm kind of more coming down here, and then have his head more right here. Let's see here, have his head more like this. It's going to be really 3/4 view, just like really barely see any of the head over there. Most of the chin will be on this side of the line. So I'll have to bring his head back more. Give him some wild hair or whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. He'd have that mad face on to add energy to it. He's like, ah. And then let's see. So now his shoulder, it's definitely back of being hid by his, maybe just have his chest here a little bit. Maybe just a little bit of that shoulder would be showing. You can really make it look like this thing is being squished by having it really thin here and then kind of squished out over here like that. Really make it look like that tentacle has been squished. Same thing here, you can have it be kind of skinny and then kind of plop out like that and then kind of come back over here. And there's this one in the foreground. Right, so something like that might work. Right, so now at this point I don't have really any time left, but let's see if I can grab that color and make it darker. So what I would do then is I'll spend this time just try to see if I can get some sort of coloring down here. What I would do is I'm just going to do this one tentacle, just kind of show what I would do, is I would have it all kind of dark in the foreground, add some details and stuff, and then I would really bring the contrast of everything in the foreground out so it really contrasts with the background. And I'd have it all backlit like this, and then take that kind of bluish color and I'd kind of bring in the highlights into this thing, and however its details are and all that, kind of run along the edge, and whatever's on the edge I'd have it highlight like that. And then maybe take a little bit of the white and just for a couple glistening effects. And that's really ugly, but you get the idea. I'm just kind of putting it on very quickly because I don't have much time left. I'm like almost out of time, and I would do that rest, and I'll show what I'm talking about in just a second. All right, and here's my finished mock-up. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, go ahead and leave a comment. Appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see next.